आता आपण सिस्टीम सॉफ्टवेअरचे प्रश्न बघूया MCQ. आता where can you find the option changing the setting for the date and time on your computer system. डेट अँड टाईम जे आहे हे आपल्याला कुठनं चेंज करता येईल, विंडोज ॲक्सेसरीजमधनं. मल्टीटास्क इज द ॲबिलिटी ऑफ द कॉम्प्युटर सिस्टीम इज रन मोर दॅन वन ॲप्लिकेशन ॲट अ टाईम. defragmented program and rearrange the files and unused disk space to optimize the operation. Locates and eliminates the unnecessary fragments. Where you click to add the new virtual desktop. इथं आपल्याला दिसतं एक नवीन डेस्कटॉप. याचा आन्सर आहे 3 नंबरचं. विच टाईप इज टू फाइंड द फॉन्ट कमांड. फॉन्ट कमांड कुठे दिसते आपल्याला, फॉर्मॅटमध्ये आपल्याला फॉन्ट कमांड असेल. वेर यू क्लिक टू क्लोज द डेस्कटॉप 1 फ्रॉम युअर टास्क व्ह्यू. डेस्कटॉप 1 इथे आपल्याला दिसते. ओके. विच ऑप्शन अलाउज टू सिलेक्ट द numerous images that can be displayed on the desktop wall for fixed interval. या ठिकाणी त्याचं इथं आपल्याला उत्तर आहे. Which of these images shows the ribbons type of the screensaver. स्क्रीनसेवर हा इथे दिसतोय आपल्याला रिबन्स टाईपमध्ये. The program that manages resources providing user interface and run application are called as operating system. Which program recognize and correct problem that identified before they become the serious troubleshooting program. Which programs are meant to guard a computer from invasion of the virus program, antivirus program. Where will you click the changing setting that option taskbar on the screen. टास्कबारचा ऑप्शन आपल्याला इथे दिसतोय. फर्स्ट आन्सर. A computer virus can be considered as to be threat to a security. Program that make copies of files to be in case original are lost or damaged, it is called as the backup programs. A user use the following 4 files explorer which is not an images. Imported work WLO. Disk cleanup and file compression are the example of utility program. Linux is the popular and powerful alternative to Windows operating system. True. The version of Unix as open resource operating system that is alternative to the Windows, Linux. Antivirus program guard your computer system against viruses or other damaging program that can be invaded your the computer system. True. Which of the following is not the system software program type? Sector. Which of the following is not function of the operating system? Providing internet access. Uninstall program that you safely and completely remove the unneeded programs and related files from your hard disk. True. Most operating systems support the ability to switch between the different applications, that is called as the multitasking. System Restore is the utility program that allows the fix problem with their computers and by restoring to a earlier state when the computer was working fine. True. The operating system tries to save a file on a single across the continuous sectors. त्याला म्हटलं आपण ट्रॅक. If you receive one file through the internet having virus file that you select, you have to remove the virus. It is called as the Norton. That program makes the copies of files to be used in case of original are lost or the damages. Backup. Troubleshooting or diagnostic program recognize correct the problem. याचं उत्तर आहे diagnostic. Refer the images show on the screen. You will get the images after the click on the option. System restore. Disk defragmenter. Files are stored and recognized on the disk according to the tracks and sectors. True. The operating system is often referred to software environment. It is called as a platform. Disk cleanup is the troubleshooting utility that identifies and eliminates non-essential files. True. When the file is broken into small parts that are stored where the space is available, the hard disk is said to become is the fragmenter. File compression is the troubleshooting utility that identifies and eliminates non-essential file. False. When the file broken into small part that where the space is available, the hard disk is to become the deleted. False. Troubleshooting program recognize both hardware and software program and try to correct them as far as the possible. True. The disk utility program eliminates unneeded files to be on your hard disk. Cleanup. You must install an antivirus program on your computer to protect the computer from viruses. True. That program the guard your computer system against viruses or the other damaging program. Antivirus. The computer able to run notepad and pen application at a one time. It is called as the multitasking. That are the used to store the data and program files. Dash is the utility program that locates and eliminates unnecessary fragments and rearrange files and unused disk space to optimize the operation. Disk defragmenter. Norton system work as the utility suite that displays the list of commands that can be used to gain access to information, change the hardware system, find information stored in the computer, get online help and shut down the computer. Start button. This defragmenter is the utility program that locates, eliminates unnecessary fragments and rearrange file unused disk space to optimize the operation. True. That are also known as the service program. Utilities. That dash is the background software helps the computer manage its own internal resources. System software. In many application programs, the feature is to provide the information on request input. It is called as the dialog boxes. Following utility programs are available in Windows operating system except HP Dexit. The most commonly widely used personal computer operating system is Windows. विंडोजचा आपण जास्तीत जास्त वापर केला जातो. Operating system are programs that manage resources, providing an user interface and run the application. True. Multitasking is the ability of the operating system to run more than one application at a time. True. Operating system are programs that manages resources, providing user interface and run the application. True. Is the ability of the operating system to run more than one application at a time. Multitasking. Starting or restarting a computer, it is called as the booting. Starting or restarting computer is called as the booting the system. True. This system software is responsible for managing your computer resources including memory, processing and storage. Operating system. On a disk, a track is concentric ring and each track is divided into the wedge shape. It is called as the sector. True. Utilities should come into one program only. False. Graphical user interface is not available in the Windows operating system. False. Antivirus programs are meant to guard your computer from the invasion of the virus program. True. Advantages of organized file including the following excepts. Needed when use the recycling bin. Disk defragmenter is the utility program locates elements, unnecessary fragments and rearrange files and unused disk space to optimize operation. True. Antivirus is the troubleshooting utility identified elements, non-essential files. False. Multitasking is the ability of the operating system to run more than one application at a time. True. Dash is the concept ring. काय म्हटलं आपण ट्रॅक. Each track is divided into wedge shape. It is called as the sector. True. Backup program makes the copies of files to be used in case the original files are damaged or lost. True. That are they used to store the data and programs. File. Is the ability of the operating system to run more than one application at a time. Multitasking. Operating system or program manages resources providing user interface and run application. True. Troubleshooting program recognize that both hardware and software program try to them correct and as far as the possible. True. A computer virus can be considered as threat to the security. Consider the location what is called as UNC. How often should you back up your computer? Whenever you create a new files and upload the picture that you don't want to lose it. A user see the following text file listed in the drop down list opening a file. What is the CSV? CSV is the common separated values. What is the name of software that can be used data protection in the Windows 10? त्याला म्हणतो आपण BitLocker. Identify which is not the advantages of creating shortcut on PC. Reduction in size of files. The concurrent execution of multiple tasks job is known as multitasking. Which program reduce the size of the files so that they be occupied lesser space on the disk? File compression. Icons are program that manages resources. त्याचं उत्तर आहे false. What do you call those small? The periodical representation of an object you see on the desktop. Desktop icons. System software includes sorry, if you receive one file through internet having virus, what do you select if you want to remove the virus? आपण काय करतो, नॉर्टन सिस्टीमचा वापर केला जातो. सिस्टीम सॉफ्टवेअर इन्क्लूड्स ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम. Operating system, utility device, driver are the types of input devices. False. File compression program makes the copies of files to be used in case original files are lost, damaged, lost. False. File compression program reduce the size of files so that they occupy lesser space on the disk. True. Icons are the graphical object used to represent a commonly used the application. False. True. Starting or restarting computer key, it is called as the booting. Booting is the ability the operating system to run more than one application at a time. False. Disk cleanup program that make the guard your computer system against invasion of the virus program. False. Backup program make the copies of files to be in case original files are damaged or lost. True. GUI for the graphical user interface. A dialog box, a special type of window, asks you questions and allow you to select the option to perform a task providing with you information. True. That is the control by a mouse and changes the shapes depending upon its current function. Pointer. GUI stand for the guide user interface. False. That utility identifies the non-essential files on the hard disk and erase them only when the user allows and their erasure. Disk cleanup. Software that allows computer to interact with the user application hardware, it is called as system software. Norton antivirus program identifies non-essential file on the hard disk, erases them where user allow and their erasure. False. Which program reduce the size of files so they can be occupied lesser space on the disk? File compression. If you wish, arrange the open task window. Which of these option will be used? आपण या ठिकाणी याचा इथं वापर करणार आहे. Which of the following function is the operating system? All of the above. Look carefully the word icon. How many documents are open in the Word application? At least 2. A user thick area shown in the red box given images at the bottom right corner on the screen. What happened the next? Use the get taken onto the desktop. The start article of the Wikipedia is shown. What is the describing? आपण ISP. Internet service provided. If you want to change the desktop background, picture, Windows color, sound in one go, which option will you click? Background मला चेंज करायचं आहे. पहिला ऑप्शन आहे. Starting or restarting computer is called the multitasking the system. False. A user choose to close down the Windows program without the first saving any of the work. What will happen? The program will be closed and the user will be lose the work. ओके, आत्ता आपण सिस्टीम सॉफ्टवेअरचे सगळे MCQ क्वेश्चन्स बघितलेले आहे. ही व्हिडिओ आपल्याला आवडली असेल तर आपण ह्या व्हिडिओला लाईक करा. माझ्या यूट्यूब चॅनलचं नाव आहे निश कॉम्प्युटर वाकडेवाडी. माझं नाव आहे प्रशांत बाळू टेंबरे. मोबाईल नंबर 9527903029. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.